friends, it is Jenna, what is up, and welcome back to the Board Game Garden, and welcome to my most anticipated games for the upcoming year, which is 2025, which I've been so excited to film this video. I have way too many games that I'm looking forward to. I do want to share with you guys some games that I covered here on the channel. If you guys have watched the channel over the past year, you would have seen me do previews on quite a few of these releases from 2025. So I am going to give you guys some recommendations based off of the ones that I have played. I also have a few honorable mentions of 2025 releases that I have played. I did not feature on the channel as of yet, but they're ones that I have played and I do want to mention as well. And then we are going to get into my top, not 10, but 12 most anticipated games of 2025 that I have not played. I have never even seen these games on the table, I don't think. Actually, I've seen quite a few of these on the table, but I have not played any of these, and I'm very, very much so looking forward to possibly getting a chance to play them in the very near future. So yes, or at least throughout 2025. But anyways, if you guys want to hear all about these games, then just keep on watching. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy. Also, hit that subscribe button down below if you've yet to do so. We'd love to have you here in the garden. Please comment down below any other games that I should have my eyes out for, games that you're anticipating for 2025. I'd love to know those down in the comment section, so put those down there. Also, please let me know how the video is for this. I have my new lighting set up and my new camera, and I am pretty happy with it as of what I'm seeing in the viewfinder and from like my tests and stuff. So yes, let me know how it looks for you guys. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into my top most anticipated games for 2025, shall we? All right, so before we get into the 12 games that I am personally anticipating, I do want to, like I said, mention all of the games that I have already played that are being released in 2025 that either I've just played or I've played and featured on the channel in a preview, but let's go through all of these. I'm just gonna do a big list of them and I will put pictures on the screen, or I'll do a little side thing. We will see, but the games that I've played that I am so excited are going to be coming out in 2025 that I recommend you check out, that I've played personally. First one is going to be Critter Kitchen. I cannot wait to get my final copy of this. I am so excited. Critter Kitchen was one that I had the opportunity to feature on the channel last year, and I have gotten the opportunity to play a few times as well. I went to California and did some content for Critter Kitchen for Cardboard Alchemy, and I did some stuff for Lucky Duck as well. And we actually played a 7-player game of Critter Kitchen, which was so much fun, and I cannot wait to try the solo mode of Critter Kitchen. I cannot wait to just see the final product, get to play it with more people. I feel like this is a game that can be played from, you know, new people in the hobby all the way to veterans that have been in the hobby for a long time. So I'm very excited for that one. Another game that I'm really looking forward to coming out in 2025 that I did some content on is Tend by Ivy Studios. This one is so much fun, and I can already tell you guys now that this game is probably going to be within my top games because I loved it that much. I cannot wait for that one to come out. Another one is Ada's Dream, or Ada's Dream. That is a game from Alley Cat Games that I covered that I really enjoyed, and I'm very much so looking forward to a final copy of that, or final version of that, seeing that and how it looks and everything. It was a very fun like dice placement game, which I really, really enjoy. 2 from Garfield Games are coming out in 2025, which are The Anarchy and Scar Bray. I covered both of those and loved those. Storyfold Wildwoods is another solo-only game, kind of a campaign game. I'm not 100% sure if that one will be coming out in 2025. The campaign was late 2024. I think it was in like November, December. So not 100% sure if that will be out in 2025 or maybe early 2026 or late 2025, but very much so looking forward to seeing that full campaign there. We also have the Wizards of the Grimoire expansion that I covered pretty early on in 2024 that I'm so excited for. Really enjoyed that. Dragon Eclipse from Awakened Realms I really love. That's like a solo campaign kind of creature fighting game, which I loved. Luthier from Paverson Games, really loved that. The Old King's Crown is like a trick-taking kind of battle game, which was really cool that I covered. Rise of Babel, I really enjoyed. It was like a deck building game. We also have Emberleaf, which I really enjoyed Flow, which is been a long time coming, but hopefully that one will be out in 2025. And then lastly, we have Knitting Circle from Flat Out Games, which is a little bit of like a cozy sequel to Calico, which I really enjoyed. But that is kind of a list of games that I recommend from the games that I've done previews for. I think I will do, after I finish my list of 12, just tell you guys about a few honorable mentions that are games that I didn't feature on the channel, but were games that I had the opportunity to play once in 2024 that I'm very much so looking forward to playing more once they come out in 2025. So I will give you guys those after my list of 12. But yeah, that is everything for my recommendations. Let's get right into my 12 games that I am personally anticipating for 2025. All right, so getting into my anticipated games of 2025, I do have a screen recording going on my laptop, so I am going to kind of show you guys the BGG page for each of these, just so you guys can see what the game looks like. I will show you guys a few of like the images as well, so you guys can get a better feel what game I'm talking about, but I have them all up in my tabs, and there are 12 different games that I'm going to chat about today. So the first one you guys can see on the screen now is Snow Planner. So this has been a game that I've known about for a while, but I do believe that it was only available in Asia, and I think maybe now it is coming over to North America. I'm not 100% sure why it is saying it's a 2025 release, because literally when Francis and I were in Japan, I saw this at a board game store and almost bought it, but I didn't have enough space for it. And I have seen it in the past, even before we went to Japan. So I think maybe the 2025 release is that it is getting released more widely. And here's hoping that means that it might be more readily available in North America, specifically Canada. I would love that. But yeah, Snow Planner looks like it is a dice placement game. It says Snow Planner is a dice placement game for 2 to 4 players. It says 2 to 4 players, but it does say 1 to 4 players at the top where it actually has the player count. So I think there is a solo mode, which is mainly why I'm interested in this. You are each taking on the role of managing an inn near snowy mountains. Players take turns placing a die on the game board, and once all dice are gone, the round ends. So it's like a dice worker placement game, kind of. You'll invite guests to stay at your hotel, with them paying you at the end of the round, and ideally staying additional nights so that you don't have to find more guests. By placing tiles on your board, you upgrade the hotel, increasing bonuses and earning more income. Dice can also represent employees who gain your resources with their work time. Additional dice can be earned both permanent and part-time. That sounds so much fun. It's just so cute. It looks like it's like a snowy inn, like on the ski hills kind of vibes, and you are kind of managing that inn and having your different customers that are out skiing and whatnot. I think it's very cute. And again, it's been one that I've seen many, many times, and it's been one that I have been interested in for a long time. So that is Snow Planner. Moving on to number 2. This is a game that I saw, and initially I wasn't like super interested in it, but this is kind of a spin-off of another game that I absolutely love, which is Railroad Inc. But this is Railroad Tiles, which is 1 to 4 players, so you can play this one solo. And it is a tile placement version of Railroad Inc. So if you guys do not know what Railroad Inc. is, it is a roll and write, whereas this one here is a tile placement game. So instead of rolling the dice and then putting in the different roads and railroads and stuff, you're going to be placing tiles. And just loving Railroad Inc. so much, I immediately was like, I would love to check this out. I feel like it would be a very cozy game, just like Railroad Inc. is, and kind of become one of like my comfort games, because Railroad Inc. is very much so that to me. So yes, you guys can see here some of the pictures, but it is very much so just a tile laying game where you're going to be connecting those highways and railroads, and probably going to be scoring in similar ways. just like in Railroad Ink. So that is my number 2, Railroad Tiles. All right, moving into number 3. This is a game that just by the cover, I like fell in love with this game. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous and so cute and cozy. The game that I'm talking about is Parks and Potions. And honestly, there was a point in time where I like took this off the list because I was like, no, this is too easy of game. I don't know if I'm super interested, but honestly, thinking about it, I put it back on because I actually really enjoy games that are just very simple, very easy, cozy games. Sometimes when I'm playing a solo game or even like a multiplayer game, I just want an easy game. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna put this back on the list because I honestly do think that I would enjoy this. It is a 1.75 weight and it takes 15 to 30 minutes. So I was like, okay, it doesn't take very long. It's just a very cozy, simple game that looks absolutely beautiful, and I do really think that I would enjoy it. So Parks and Potions is a kind of potion making game in a way. I will go back to the page in a second, but like just looking at the pictures of this, I just love the way it looks. It kind of looks like a contract fulfillment game. You are getting these different like potions that you're then putting onto these different cards that need specific colored potions in order to have them be fulfilled. But it says Parks and Potion plays over 5 rounds, each representing a day of work. The game is divided into phases where players roll dice to discover flowers to extract, manage their inventories, and use potions to fulfill objectives and cure animals. So it is like a contract fulfillment type game with some dice rolling, and I'm assuming there's going to be some sort of like objectives and stuff that you're going for. But yeah, I am really looking forward to this one, even if it's a very simple game. Honestly, we just need some simple games sometimes. So that is my number 3, Parks and Potions. All right, so going to the completely opposite end of the spectrum, we have a very heavy game that I am very much so looking forward to. Solely based on the fact that this game looks like it just has a bunch of mini games, and I've discovered over the past few years that I really enjoy games that offer just a bunch of mini games that you can kind of go into. So the game that I'm talking about is called The Sixth Realm. So this is by Final Frontier Games, which I do believe that they're the same publisher that made Merchant's Cove, and I really enjoy Merchant's Cove. So when I saw The Sixth Realm and just kind of the look of it, the way it was on the table, and just like looking into a little bit of the gameplay, I think this will be one that I really enjoy. It plays 1 to 4 players, so it does have a solo mode, and it is a 4 out of 5 in complexity. So this is quite a bit more complex than Parks and Potions, and it looks absolutely beautiful. There's just like so much going on the table, and all of these different individual kind of areas, which are the kind of mini games, like I said. So I'm really looking forward to this one. It looks so good. There's a lot of really good pictures on here of it, but each player has their own kind of player board with different things going on, and then like I said, the board has a ton going on as well. My dogs have decided to join me. Hi, how's it going? How's it going, babies? But yes, that is number 4, The Sixth Realm. Moving on to number 5, which I've kind of cheated, and I've done number 5 as 2 different games, but they are both kind of similar themes coming from the same publisher, which is 25th Century Games. And my number 5s are Stargazers and Observatory. So these are 2 games coming to you from 25th Century Games. Stargazers is, I believe, a tile-laying game, and then Observatory is a roll and write, if I'm not mistaken. It might be a flip and write, but yeah, Observatory, you are doing something with the night sky. It's a roll and write. I love roll and writes. I love stars and planets and stuff like that. So this one I am very much so looking forward to. There are no pictures of these games on BGG, so unfortunately this is all I have to show you guys, but Observatory looks like this, and then Stargazers looks like this. Wow, look at that. Amazing. That's all I have to show you, but just know they're both about stars and planets and the night sky. Stargazers is a tile laying game, which I love. And then Observatory is a roll and write, which I love. And I'm not 100% sure if either of these have solo modes. Unfortunately, Stargazers does not, and Observatory does. Observatory plays 1 to 5 players. Awesome. So yes, those are my number 5. Number 6 is a game that I saw the cover and immediately I was like, I know this is my vibe of game. You guys will be able to tell by the cover as well. But this game is called Forestry. It is a little bit of a heavier, I think, like Euro game, if I'm not mistaken. It actually doesn't have a weight here on BGG yet. And it also doesn't have any pictures of this on BGG either. It only has the cover, which you guys can see here. It looks wonderful. It's just a bunch of people planting trees, which I love. Oh, actually, there is pictures. Okay, amazing. So we do have like a hexagon grid map here, which looks very cool. I actually don't know a ton about this game. I just really loved the kind of theme of this one with the like preservation and stuff and planting trees and that sort of thing. I'm not 100% sure if this is the first game from this publisher, but it is. Players take on the role of forest stewards dedicated to sustainable forest management. The game challenges players to balance the demands of harvesting resources and fulfilling contracts with the need for environmental conservation, which I love. I love that. There is action points, area movement, chaining, contracts, and then also hexagon grid, we've already seen that. And then we also have worker placement with the different worker types, which I love the sound of. So that is Forestry, my number 6. Moving on to number 7. This is a game that was announced by Jamie Stegmaier of Stonemaier Games. And this one seems like it is a big sprawling project that he's been working on for a really, really long time and is super proud of. But this is a game called Vantage. So it says cooperatively explore an entire planet's open world from first-person perspective. So I don't really know what first-person perspectives means, but I know like first-person like shooter games are like you're looking from the person's perspective, which I don't really understand that in a board game sense, but we will just have to see when it comes out. But this is 1 to 6 players, and honestly I am just interested in this one because of the fact that Jamie has worked on it for so long and has like really high hopes for it. So also I've never really gotten into like an open world game before, so I'm very much so looking forward to possibly trying this one out and seeing how it is. I'm not 100% sure what to expect with this one. I do think it's going to be very like story heavy, and it just has a lot of cards, so I feel like it's just going to be a game that you are exploring the area and kind of going through cards and story. But I feel like this one might be a good one to jump into, possibly. For this one, I'm mainly just interested to see more about it and then see if it's kind of something that I would be interested in playing. So that is my number 7, Vantage. Moving on to the next game, this is my number 8, and this is a game called Mercurial Alchemia, I think is how you pronounce that second word. But there is the original game called Mercurial, which I've recently tried and I've really enjoyed that one. And this is kind of a sequel to that game. It's designed by the same person. It is a different publisher, but I don't know if maybe Good Games Publishing is the publisher of Mercurial. Maybe they are going to pick this one up a little bit later in the process. But the little sentence below the title here says, cultivate fantastic flora and craft wondrous elixirs in this game for 1 to 4 alchemists. So right away, just like the magic theme and being an alchemist, creating these different potions or elixirs and then cultivating the like ingredients for it has always been something that I've really enjoyed. So I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. I don't really think there's any pictures of this one. We have a tentative cover here, which I think is really cute. I love the characters on the cover, and then the mechanics that it has listed here. There's quite a few of them actually. There is deck, bag, or pool building. We have follow mechanic, hand management, market, multi-use cards, simultaneous action selection, variable player powers, variable setup, and worker placement. So all of those just have me very interested, and liking Mercurial already, I am really looking forward to seeing what this one kind of changes with the base game. And these two games are completely different from what I can see based off of like the mechanisms and stuff, but they are from the same designer. So I'm interested to see kind of the differences between the two games, and checking out Mercurial, Alchemia, which is my number 8. Number 9 is a game that I believe I actually saw at PAX Unplugged, and I wish that I went to the booth because I kind of just saw it from afar and I thought the look of the game was absolutely stunning, but I didn't actually go up to the booth and check out the game. But the game that I'm talking about is called Stem and Branch, and this is a game for 1 to 4 players. It looks absolutely stunning, and the theme around it is, I believe, the Zodiac kind of calendar. It says Stem and Branch is an approachable strategy card game inspired by the animals and elements of the 60-year Eastern Zodiac calendar. So I don't know if you guys can see well, you guys can see, I'm gonna put it in the video, but this is the cover here, which I think is absolutely gorgeous. We have this, and then I don't really know what this is, but you have all of the different cards, and I guess you're placing things. I honestly could not tell you anything about the gameplay. I know that it is a card game. I know that. It says multi-use cards and open drafting, and I always love a good card game. So yeah, I'm very much so looking forward to Stem and Branch. I've heard some good things. I think I heard Jay from Cardboard East, I think he was chatting about it briefly. Jay, if you're watching this, please let me know how Stem and Branch is, because I really like the look of it and I want to try it. So that is my number 9, Stem and Branch. Moving on to number 10. This one I am interested in based off of the theme as well as the designer. And this game is Coming of Age, which this is coming from Ludonova, which I do think I've heard of that publisher before, but the designer is Danny Garcia, which Danny Garcia has designed Barcelona, what is that one game that starts with an A? Arborea. He's also designed Arbora. Also Daitoshi, which I haven't played Daitoshi yet, but I really want to play that one. But knowing that Danny Garcia has made these amazing games really has me interested in this one. And then also it has this really cool theme of kind of like the game of life in a way. That has always been a theme in games that I've really been drawn to. I have a roll and write that I've been wanting to play called Your Best Life that has kind of that theme. Also, I've always wanted to play a game called The Pursuit of Happiness, which is kind of based around that like growing up. There's also a game called Adulthood from Otherwise Games that I really want to play as well. And it has that theme of like living someone's life and growing up and doing all of the things that you would growing up, kind of like in the game of life. I am really excited for this one. It looks very cool. The only mechanism that it has listed is dice rolling, so that really doesn't give you a lot. But I am hopeful that it's going to be a good one, and I'm really looking forward to checking it out. So that is Coming of Age. And yet again, there is no images. All you have is the cover here, so that's all I can show you. All right, so moving on to the last 2 games. The first one is one that I have not heard anyone talk about. It looks like a very simple game, but honestly, like I said with Parks and Potions, I really enjoy a nice simple game. So sometimes you just want that. But this one, just the look of this game and the vibes of this game has me. I need this game. I don't know. It is coming from Disto Studio. And Benoit Turpin is one of the designers, which is kind of cool. He's the designer of Welcome To, but this is another roll and write. But the game is called Daydream. And this is the ultimate like cozy game. I love the way this looks so much. This is the cover here. It is a girl in the clouds sitting, being cozy with a book and a cup of coffee and her cat, and I'm just so obsessed with this. Basically, you are rolling dice and then putting numbers into rows in columns, which is very simple, I will say, but can we just talk about how beautiful this like sheet is where you're going to be writing in the different numbers and stuff, and then you're also going to be collecting these different cozy objects and stuff. I just love the way this looks so much. I just can't get over it. It's going to be a simple game, but it's going to be a cozy game. That's all I know. And I'm really, really looking forward to trying this one out. Again, I don't really know if this is going to be available in North America or how readily available it's going to be, because it's from a publisher that I don't think I've ever heard of. But yeah, it just looks adorable and I really, really want to get my hands on it. So that is my number 11, Daydream. All right, and my last game, number 12, is a game that is from Uwe Rosenberg. And I think I heard Tyler and Ilya from Kavre talking about this game. And it's a possibility that this one might just be releasing in Europe in 2025 and it might not be getting to us here in North America until 2026 or something like that. But this is coming from a publisher, Albi, which Albi had Tea Garden and Galileo Galilei, which I still don't know if I'm saying that correct. But they have done a few games, also a game called Witchdom. I really need to see if I can get those two games, Tea Garden and Witchdom, because those were like two of my highest, most anticipated games for PAX Unplugged, and I didn't end up getting them. So anyways, Garden Lake is number 12. This is a game, like I said, coming from Uwe Rosenberg and it's published by Albi. And this game looks absolutely beautiful, just based off of the cover. It looks gorgeous. It being from Uwe Rosenberg, I'm very intrigued by it. It is a grid coverage, open drafting, square grid tile placement game. It says Garden Lake offers a relaxing and rewarding experience. Yes, please. Players build their garden lakes with water lilies and koi fish using pentomino tiles. I don't know what that is, but I don't think they're polyomino. I think they're a different shape. The catch is that on their turn, players always place one tile, but they can earn additional tiles by completing various objectives which allow them to chain moves and strategize their way to victory. I am very interested. But yeah, hopefully this one is coming to North America in 2025. Fingers crossed. But this does sound like a classic Uwe tile laying game that's cozy and satisfying, and I would love to check it out. So that is my number 12, Garden Lake. All right, so quickly before I end the video, I did want to give some honorable mentions of some games that I did get the opportunity to play once in 2024, and I am looking forward to playing them more in 2025. The first one is going to be Tea Witches. This one is one that I've already seen a few other people talk about, and I was fortunate enough to be able to play this at PAX Unplugged. I played one full kind of round of this, and I loved it so much. Tea Witches is coming from the Op, and it is designed by Manny Vega. Artist is Sandera Tang, so this is the duo that brought you Flamecraft, and the look of this game already just has me. I love the worlds that Sandara kind of creates, and I love the characters and just how adorable the kind of environments are that she creates. So yes, really, really looking forward to playing this one more. I really enjoyed the gameplay when I did play it. There's a little bit of push your luck where you're going to be flipping over these different like customers that you're going to be serving, and each person is going to have their own kind of tea shop, and you're going to be brewing these different customers drinks that they are like asking for, and you're going to have the main board where you're going to be doing some worker placement, and based off of where you place your little tea kettle, you are then going to have different kind of sets of movement in order to move the fountain to get the different colors of tea that you want into your workers, if that makes sense. So each worker has a spot for different colored teas, and then you're going to be able to have a certain amount of movements to turn the fountain and then also to move in the different tea into your worker placement little workers. And then you're going to be able to gain those tea into your board or onto your board, and you're going to be able to do some like tile placement. I'm doing an awful job explaining this. It is definitely more of a complex game than Flamecraft, which is something that I've been looking for. I really enjoy Flamecraft, but I do find it pretty simple, which is great. But yeah, this one's a little bit more complex and it has a lot going on with different objectives that you're going for. You can put different tiles onto your board that allow you to kind of chain things and do different things on your board with this tile placement, and giving you more spaces and ways to place your tea into your tea house in order to store it to then, you know, give or serve to your customers. So yeah, really looking forward to playing that one more. I do think that the op is going to be releasing it at Gen Con of 2025, so super excited for that. And then a few other games that I wanted to mention, one being Great Western Trail El Paso. I did get a chance to play that one at PAX Unplugged as well. Just played a few rounds of that, or like a shortened game of that. I really liked it. Great Western Trail has always been a game that I enjoyed. I played a few times. I did sell our copy just because it was really hard to get to the table, and this one is a more condensed kind of version of it. It's still like a fairly long-ish game. It takes like an hour to an hour and a half for a full game, but it's definitely more approachable and easier to get to the table than base game of Great Western Trail. And then also El Paso does have a solo mode as well, so very much looking forward to trying that out. Also another game, one from Kids Table Board Games, is Layers. It is a 2-player head-to-head kind of what's that game? Battleship-esque game in a way, where you're going against each other and you have a secret layer that the other player's trying to go through that they can't see. Also Crafting the Cosmos from Office Dog. I loved that one, played that one, a full game of that one at PAX Unplugged. And then lastly, we have the Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring trick-taking game, which I have been playing quite a bit because I did get a copy at PAX Unplugged. That one is getting released very soon, I think sometime in later January, so super excited for that one to be released and for you guys to check it out, because that is a trick-taking game, cooperative trick-taking game that you can play solo, which I've been loving solo. So definitely recommend those ones there. But yeah, I think that's going to be everything for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully it's not too long. Hopefully it's not too yappy. Hopefully the audio and how this looks is good. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, please give this video a big thumbs up. Also, hit that subscribe button down below if you've yet to do so. We'd love to have you here in the garden. Like I said in the intro, please leave any of your anticipated games down in the comment section. There are so many others that I'm anticipating. I could have made a list of like 50 games, but I can't do that. So I had to narrow it down to my top 12, but I would love to know yours down in the comments, and maybe we can chat about all of the other ones that I am anticipating as well. So yeah, I love you guys so much. Remember, you are somebody's reason to smile, and I will see you in the next board game video. Bye, friends.